So I got my tripod. I'm gonna try a new method here. So this is the stuff that I found yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble this stuff for you. This is probably gonna be a multi-video series. It's gonna be a little more in depth on what I do. So first, we're gonna start with disassembly of all the goods, and we'll go from there. So this took quite a bit of time, and I don't think you needed to see it in real speed. If you want to, let me know. I can make sure that that I do that for the next one. But I've got it sped up ×4 right now, just to keep the video reasonable. So anyways, I started with the motor starter, and basically have to split it in two. You got the contact side, and then you got the coil side. The coil side basically gets hit with an electric charge, and then basically becomes a magnet pulling the contacts together. I ran into a little bit of a hiccup because they were riveted together versus screwed together. So I put that aside for later in the movie and showed you how I would remove the rivets. So then I moved on to the contactor. It's a 2-pole single throw contactor, and which means you get 2 legs of power and only one of them moves. So we're only taking, power off of one leg, and that means there's only a set of contacts on the one side that moves. So not a lot there. I just wanted to show you the process that I go through. Now some of them, I should say the majority of them I deal with are 3-pole, 3-throw contactors. So then I have 3 sets of contacts, which would be 6 silver buttons. So then that's a good chunk. So these also have pretty good amount of brass, which I kind of showed you there. And then they also have the coil on the back to create a magnetic pull to activate those contactors, or activate those contacts. So there's also some number 2 copper on there, and I don't do steel, I don't do any of that. There is some pretty good stuff on there for steel, and there's also aluminum, so I do save the aluminum. And these were all just held in by Phillips, so I broke out the little screwdriver, and those are the contacts that would move. And these are the relays. Contacts and relays are virtually the same thing. It's basically moving current one place to another with another set of current, activating it. So that where that stainless steel is on top there, that's the coil side, and that would activate these contacts that I'm removing currently. Basically would throw those contacts from one set to the other set. And I know it's really hard to see here because it's sped up, but like I said, I wasn't sure if you guys would want to see this in actual time. That's I guess you guys can tell me and let me know. Maybe split it up where I can break it down and kind of explain what each part does as I go. Be like a heating and cooling lesson along with scrapping tutorial. I can't say it's a tutorial. I am nowhere near good enough to give direction. This is all basically just me learning and experimenting and testing. See if I can make an extra buck with parts that are just going to go in the garbage anyways. So those are the sets of contacts that would be stationary on that relay. and that relay, the same shell, but it was a little different interior. Must have been a little newer. And this board, not a whole lot on it. It had a little bit of gold, just 2 pieces, wasn't even worth showing. But what I'm going to do with these is basically plug all the aluminum off of there, because it's really reactive. And then what I'm going to do is submerge that in one of my hydrochloric acid vats, and I'll allow that to eat all of the tin off of those boards and drop all of the stuff off the board into the bottom of my vat, which I will then drain and then collect all of those little pieces, sort them out, see what they would be, and then go ahead and refine the good stuff and go away and recycle anything that I don't need or that I can't use. This is a pain in the rear. So this rubber, I tried to get it out of there for quite a bit, only realizing that I had to accept defeat. But this is the battle, and it's not the war. So I will continue to think about how I want to tackle this, which I discuss a little bit later in the video. So enjoy watching me struggle. I'll tell you what, I wish I could move this fast. It would make the whole process a lot better, a lot faster, more efficient. Something that takes me quite a bit. You guys get to enjoy a video that's half the time. But it's actually fun making these videos. I really enjoy it. I do keep the copper, so that was some of the copper wires that were in there. There's also a big transformer in there too that I was able to get. And this here, some kind of ICM chip. It's got like a board on the inside of it. And it sure sounded like, or sure looked like, there was quite a bit of silver in there. So I'll process that more when I do my ICM chips. But yeah, you can see it's pretty shiny there. So it's either tin or silver. All right, on to the controllers. I have to admit, there was not a whole lot in these. Probably not worth the effort. I probably should have gave these away to somebody who could maybe restore them, fix them up. Especially the older one. Just because there was not a whole lot in there. There's, I want to say, 4 tiny little gold pins, hardly with any gold plating on them. There's a ICM chip or 2. And that's about it. There's a couple of switches, little tactical switches. It's very minimal silver and hardly any gold. I do collect the old systems, like the old Xbox, the old Wii's, old Nintendos, all that fun stuff. So I might just reassemble that blue one after I took everything out of it and make some kind of showpiece or something out of it. I really like the color of it. maybe put a battery strip in there with some LEDs. I don't know. Turn it into a lamp. Oh, thousands of ideas, but hardly the time to make any of it happen. Sorry about the cut. I had a phone call come in. So cracking this open, again, I was not very pleased with what I found on the inside. More gold in here though, just from where those memory cards would sit in the top. But like I said, I don't think it's enough to justify cracking it open. Probably could have done something cooler with that. There's the gold pins I was talking about. A couple tactile switches, crystal oscillator. That contains silver, but overall, not a whole lot. This is me just pinching those gold pins off of there. And then there's our precious metals. All right, so today's find. Not a lot, but enough to be dangerous. Let's see here. So this is all of our silver. We got brass. And then they got a copper rivet to hold the silver button on. So I'll go ahead and drill these out. I might as well show you how I do that too. That's only these four. These are silver plated. These here, along with having a silver button on the end. So what I'm going to do with these is dip them in the nitric acid until all the silver's off, and then go ahead and sweat these buttons off of there. Because if I just try to sweat this off, I'll basically burn off the silver, what little silver that is there. So I'm going to try to utilize and grab as much silver as I can. And then a bunch of silver, more silver plate. So I'll keep these out so I can go into, and then more of these from these green relays like I showed you already. They got it's just brass with a silver button on there. Or gold, I don't know, it's hard to say. Can't tell if that's oxidized silver, gold, plated silver. I guess we'll have to figure that out. And then I got some more of these guys, and that's tin on the outside. Maybe nickel plated. Actually, yeah, I see some copper, so it's probably nickel plated copper. And then that's a silver button. So I plan on doing some melting, some like copper and brass bars out of all this kind of like micro scrapping I do. Just for fun, maybe to put some extra content out. So the pure brass I got out of there, one of the contactors. Some pure brass I got out of one of the relays, and some pure copper from the transformer. Not a lot. I also got some aluminum. I got some more of these to add to the pile. Bling! There we go. One actually stayed. Alright, get that other one quick.
got those off of there. And then I'll just add these to the brass collection. All right, and then the main question I got, maybe you guys can help me with this. So there's gold in here. You can see all this gold where these different components would be soldered in. So the hard part is this casing is aluminum. So if I go to submerge this in any kind of chemical, aluminum is super reactive, so this will not be good. Like if I try to just dissolve this out. So what are your thoughts on me burning this? See if I can get it to ash, because I mean, like if you see this here, that is pretty, it's like rubber. They pour rubber in to keep it waterproof. But it is a pain in the rear to remove. So any suggestions with that would be much appreciated. But it'll be fun. I'll keep on to it, and it'd be cool to keep the cast aluminum. But if not, if I gotta crack it all off, or maybe it's that simple. Hit it with a hammer. Well, if I don't get any comments or any suggestions, I think I'm gonna try hitting it with a hammer. I know that'll get the casing off. That's not gonna help me with the rubber, but then I can probably test a little bit, maybe grab a batch of this and put it in a couple different acids, sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid. I don't want to use nitric acid on it, but I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's definitely some kind of rubber. Well, if you'd like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. I'll make sure I have, I'll try to get a video out as fast as I can. I got a pretty hectic schedule, so I can't make any promises, but every day or every other day would be nice. But I think that's going to wrap up this video. Just a disassembly of my work stuff, and I'll go ahead and start another one of how I get the silver out of this.